Hey guys, welcome to the session. This session is about an introduction to career in data science. This is Joshi. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about some of the job perspectives in data science, why data science has become so important, what are companies saying about it, how the job market is changing, the demand and the supply, and the market dynamics in the data science world. Then we are going to look at how data science is transforming the traditional job. Then we are going to look at some of the terms like data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Then we'll look at the typical data science course syllabus on how these boot camps are uh, structured. And then we'll see how to become a good data scientist or how to plan things ahead. So I'm moving to my first slide, which is data science job demand and supply. So Forbes and Glassdoor has reported that, and this is a report from 2018, that data science remains still one of the hot jobs in the market with a median base salary of 110. Uh, be reminded that there are a lot of job openings, and the job openings are next to only DevOps, which is the other hot area. Now, 78% of the companies regarded analytics and data analytics as a prime player in how it's going to impact their business. So that's how they decided. Now, uh, Data Science Skill Gap report has predicted that the demand is going to rise 28% by 2020, which means that companies have to switch from traditional hiring, and also they have to switch to the master's data science program. Now the master's in data science program still graduates like a few hundred people and cannot fill the 4,000 or the 5,000 openings that exist. So companies have to jump to and look at boot camps to fill that gap. In all, if I talk about the IT field, then the demand is going to go up and it's going to be 2.5 million people in 2020. Broadly speaking, artificial intelligence and machine learning are going to take away a lot of traditional jobs. What is the difference between these two terms? Are they interchangeable? So the answer to that is not really. One is a bigger group and one is a smaller group inside the other. So artificial intelligence is to make the computer smart, and machine learning is a part which is focused more on machine learning algorithms. And by default, machine learning would point us to the direction of neural networks and deep learning. So that's where that term goes. But artificial intelligence is a broad term that might include automation, that might include incorporating other things to make machines smarter. That's how it is defined by Patrick from Forbes. And a lot of jobs are going to be taken away by machine learning. It's assumed that automation is going to kill a lot of jobs. The job of cashiers, drivers, people who are doing the bookkeeping, and a lot of jobs that could be automated are going to be automated. And the language of automation, if I were to say, it would be Python. Now, when we look at the IT spending, that's going to go up. A lot of traditional stores are going up because of e-commerce. Amazon is taking over. People are selling their stuff on Amazon, so they need people to talk to Amazon programmatically and handle all the IT work. And the industry is going to be 3.85 trillion. 36% of the workforce is going to be contract based or freelance. And uh, it's assumed that the freelancers would be more by 2027. So there would be more freelancer and people who we want to get job done by just get the job done like a gig economy and less of a full-time world. It's also assumed that uh, there is 3 GB of data that is developed every day for a lot of careers, because in all it's assumed that whatever you are doing online is going to become for each individual 3 GB of data that's going to be generated every day, and companies have to make sure of that data. Uh, So companies are assuming that based on videos and streaming and everything, people are generating like or getting 3 GB. That's the wireless companies that are giving this report. So what to do with that data? What to how to make sense of that data and the streaming data and creating those new data would be very interesting. So what's coming? Tech hiring. Everybody's using machine learning to get the customers. It's used extensively in marketing, in chat bots, the marketing bots, and web scraping. And all these companies are switching to artificial intelligence. What do the future job looks like? What jobs are being taken away by machine learning? So if we look at it, it's like voice recognition, image recognition, natural language processing. Earlier, when you used to call, a human used to pick up. Now the machines are picking up the phone. Earlier, you used to chat with the humans, the machines, and seamlessly it's becoming harder to differentiate between humans and machines. So, what you want to buy, what you don't want to buy, that's also being taken up by machine learning. So, human workers have to be smart enough. Now, AI would be able to write essays. Um, they would be able to drive truck. They would be able to work as cashiers. They would be able to work as security guard to let you in if you want to go out, go in a building or something. And it's assumed that in like half a century, AI is going to become more smarter than humans. So which means that they could do a smarter business than a human being. And it's assumed that around 14 to 54% of the US jobs would be taken away by automation. So automation is a much more bigger job killer than any other thing. And to survive in the new wave of automation, one needs to learn the language of automation, which is Python, and the algorithm behind automation, which are the machine learning algorithms. So there are various industries that are going to get hit. Drivers are the one, cashiers are the other, simple stuff that copy paste in finance, and in finance, in banking, cashiers, in banking, your relationship managers. A lot of jobs are going to be automated by 2020. So banks require Python knowledge and artificial intelligence. A lot of nice jobs in white collar jobs like equity analysis, fixed income analysis, and something that used to require human to human interaction is also going to get automated. And um, banks like Credit Suisse and everybody are also going to eliminate a lot of analyst job by the report, which is Watersgate. So what is the difference between deep learning, machine learning, and AI? I just told you AI is a broader term, machine learning or machine learning algorithm, and deep learning is a specific machine learning algorithm, which is neural networks, which has multiple layers. We'll go in details about that and see how that structure builds up. So machine learning are going to disrupt a lot of careers right now, and a lot of ways in which business are doing, like hiring. Now, when you upload your resume on the internet, the bots are trying to scrape and find out whether you have the keyword and sending you automated email. Now, when you reply to it, the bots would reply to you and ask you to schedule an interview. Then the bots are automatically going to understand what time you want and set up an interview unless the human interacts with you. So till the point things could be automated, they are getting automated, and the bots need natural language processing and machine learning to learn what you have been talking about. So what's inside a typical data science course? A typical data science course involves some pre-works, that's Python, a little bit of data analysis and data analytics, and visualization and statistics before even you jump into this. Because when you do the pre-work, you decide whether you want to go inside this or not. So a lot of boot camps take an examination or make you go through a pre-work, which includes basic math and basic programming before you dive deeper into. Now, how to excel as a data scientist? What are data scientists doing? And if you are planning a career ahead, I'm going to show you the syllabus soon, but I would say that the main job of a data scientist is to take care of data and do the end-to-end process. And that's where it differs from a machine learning engineer who is more interested in the machine learning algorithm. A machine learning engineer is not interested in cleaning the data, wrangling the data, searching for data, making sure that there is a data policy, company storing all data, structured and non-structured, and logs in the right place. So the data science guys is like a broader term, they have to take care of the big data, data ingestion. There are also sometimes the database guys who decides how your data is going to be stored. But the data science guys would make sure that you make use of the data to make use of that data. And the data science guys also works on visualization. The way in which they are different than the data analyst people is that data analyst and business intelligence are retrospective. They don't give you any prediction. And the data science guys includes the prediction and machine learning algorithm. So they train the models and make sure that you can use the model. And a lot of models that we use in data science requires human tweaking, because if a model is very accurate, still it might have some errors. So a data science person also understand what is overfitting, what should not be done. So what looks good on the paper, which means that if you have a 99% accuracy, a data science person can see and find out that no, this is overfitting. This is not going to work into the future. So if I look at a course, 12 weeks of a data science, it would look something like this. The first few weeks would be like pre-work, at least 2 or 3 works, and this is a full-time course with an engagement of 40 hours every week. So 12 weeks and full-time course, 40 hours every week. So it would have pre-works, it would have tools required for data science. Then week 2 would be statistics, because you need to understand things like standard deviation, regression, normal distribution, all different kind of distributions, and see how these distributions are used. Then the first part into the data science would be data analytics using pandas, which includes exploratory data analysis, which is when you get the data, can you wrangle it, can you read it, can you chart it, can you find out if that data is good enough, missing values, and all those kind of stuff. Once that is done, uh, then it's all math from that point. So like after the first 20% of the course, then you have to delve more into math. A full week is going into regression and exploratory data analysis to make sure that you know how to use that. So that's a part of that. Now, I'm going to continue in the next video and talk more about